We do have quorum, so we are able to begin if you want.
Okay.
And we can guide you through the agenda if you need help, Carolyn,
Okay.
or if you want to just go ahead and open it.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and open it. This is the facilities meeting, and let me bring up my agenda really quick. I apologize. I was just looking at it. So I'll call the meeting to order. And I guess the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from the last time we met.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. And do I need a second for that?
Yes, and you can second it.
Okay, I will second it. Seeing, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. So the
Well, technically, I guess I should abstain.
oh, were you there?
No, I was not there.
You were not there. Okay. All right. And okay. So I guess there are no objections. So if there are no objections or changes, really, I guess we can approve them. And the next thing we need to do is public comment. Do we have anyone that needs to do public comment? And I see, let's see, I'm looking, I think I see, is it Mike Vondeport? Were you here for public comment? Okay. So I don't, okay, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I've got just a couple observations. Just a note on the approval of this. Generally, attendance is not required when you're voting to approve minutes. You are simply saying that they seem to reflect the best intent of what was happened at the last meeting. That is covered in Roberts. I know this committee doesn't operate under Roberts. It doesn't have a parliamentary procedure, but you can take a look at that. Another note at the board docs for this meeting continues to talk about returning to open session. So it implies that there was a closed session. I don't think you had one, but if you did, let us know, please. Now, my general comment has to do with the plans for new buildings. And I understand that this committee and the JC really doesn't like public input on documents. And we have to wait till they're basically final, but in order to look at them. And that bothers me, and that what you're really saying is you can't see them as a member of the public until they're final, which really means getting changes made or improvements made is almost impossible. And I just expect when we see some of these upcoming plans, you're going to tell that to our faces. Sorry, they're locked in, even if it's a reasonably good idea. I think this committee and the JC in general does have a desire for excellence. And that's what we should be all about. So I'll invite you when you go to one of our newer buildings and you're in the building, don't tell people who you are. Don't tell them you're a board member or you're a construction person or you're a staff member, and just ask them what they think of the new building and listen. Again, it's time to shut up and listen and see what you find out. Sometimes you learn something interesting, and I learned some things interesting. And one of them has to do with restroom views. Often the door to a restroom is open and people can see in. And now these days, we tend to leave doors open more and more. Restroom doors are often getting a doorstop put in them. Why? Well, doors out of restrooms are a contact point. They're a disease transmission point. They're a COVID transmission point. So doors often get left open. And if you think about airport restrooms at an airport, often they're set up in such a way that there are no doors. There's ways of getting in and out without actually having to touch a door or go through a doorway, but they're designed so that there's no view into a restroom. And that can kind of give us an idea of how we really might want to build restrooms, which are going to get high capacity. So we want that open access. We don't want blocked views. Well, when I went into the new Luther Burbank Auditorium, again, a wonderful facility, what did the fee people I talked to tell me? They told me, take a look at the restroom views. You're looking in the men's room, you're looking at the butts at the males at the urinals. And in the female side, you're looking at the feet and the underwear of the females in the stalls. oops, that's a design flaw that we could have fixed. We could have looked at, we could have resolved before we got there. And let's go for great. Not just sort of okay and good. Let's go for great. How do you fix that? Let's build a systematic answer to that one. And so the answer, I think, is if you add an inside oblique elevation looking into those restrooms of the new buildings before they're sent off to the state architect or whatever, and you consider those issues of what do people see when they're looking in, and we can make that better. And by the way, for the Burbank Auditorium, if you're people, how far do people stand when you're waiting for somebody coming out of a restroom? People stand to stand 6 or 8 feet back, or they stand where you, in effect, you force them to be there. And in this case, we have people going in and out of that non-gender restroom. And so they're forced to be in a position where they're looking right into that men's restroom. So let's take a look at improving it. Let's look at inside oblique elevations. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
It doesn't appear, no.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. Okay, all right. So I think we will move to the action item on the agenda. And I apologize. Oh, is it? I'm not sure who's supposed to speak to that, but whoever's. Okay, all right.
Thanks. It's Matthew Long. I'm the Executive Dean for SRJC Petaluma. Thanks for letting me come back for a pretty quick item. We just had a price change on the sculpture that if you remember the sculpture we reviewed, went from 15 to 20. And just the reason behind that, when we took back the contract with them, we had asked them to be involved in the installation now and help us with the installation and the care of the sculpture for a couple of years at least. So with that, it just had a price increase. We have the money, all that's fine. And that's what I'm asking for, is to just retain approval. It was just a price increase. So I'm not sure if there's any questions or concerns about that.
Okay.
How much is the price increase?
Yeah, it went from 15 to 20,000.
What, 15 to 20, and you have those funds?
Yep, everything's
And
fine,
so it's
ready
not-
to do it. Yep, just have to do it this fiscal year, which we're, some of it, we have it priced out so that we could afford it, so.
Oh, I don't know if I should have asked that before there was a motion on the table, sorry.
It's okay.
That's okay.
It's all right. I just wasn't sure if I needed to go to public comment on this item. No? Okay.
Oh.
All right. I apparently I don't. So, okay. So yes, I would love a motion.
So moved that we approve this?
Second.
Thank you. And is there any other discussion?
I just have one other procedural question that I just want to make sure that I understand. So this is an action item that will go to the board, that this with the BFC approved this when it shows up on the board agenda, correct? This isn't the final approval, right? Has to go to the full board. Is that right, Matthew?
I'm not clear, and I'm not actually clear why it's an action item
Procedurally,
versus an information item.
Yeah, I
maybe
just
Sarah-
want to know. I want to make this happen, and I don't know if it happens, it ends here or it goes to the board.
Do you know? I'm sorry.
Kate can help us with that.
Oh, okay. Thank
I'm
you,
happy to
Kate.
help with that. So what will happen next is it'll come to the board as part of our contract report. Because it's a sculpture, we're bringing it specifically to board facilities, but it doesn't rise to the level to be a separate board item for the full board, but it will come through as part of the contract ratification.
Okay.
So we still need to vote on it as a recommendation? Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other discussion or questions? No? Okay. All right. All in favor of increasing the dollar amount from 15 to 20, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. All right. Okay, so we recommend it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, All right, so the next item is an information item, it looks like. And I believe Kate Jolly is going to speak to that. Thank you.
I am. Thank you. Good afternoon. So what I wanted to bring forward today is we're getting ready to go out for our next bond issuance, so our Series B. We do anticipate that Series B will be fully expended by early fall. And so on the agenda for the full board this month, there will be the resolution to approve the tax levy that will then go to the county in order to get it on the tax roll. And then at the August board, we will bring forward the resolution for the actual issuance of the next series. We are anticipating that we will issue the full remainder of 105 million in fall. So I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware, answer any questions prior to bringing it to the board next week.
Okay, are there any questions for Kate? Yes, Maggie.
Of course, Seraphin, don't you love it when I'm back on the board? So my question, now you probably know my question. So it's 115, you said? Is that what you said, Kate?
105.
105. And my question is, have we budgeted that? And do we know what it's going for? And it sounds like we're down to the end of the bond, right? We're down to the end of the bond. And so I wonder if there's any information, or if, in the near future, Seraphin, we could see the information of exactly where we're at.
Definitely. So that would be part of the August presentation.
Okay,
that we'll
perfect.
share.
So in August, we'll get that. Okay, thank you.
Right.
And if I could just add on, so that'll come to BFC and to the full board in August.
That's correct.
Great.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Thank you, Kate. Let's see. So with that, do we have another? Oh, is this a time for project updates? Okay, thank you. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. Doing a great job, Caroline. Thank you for stepping in. We'll start our project updates with, let me make sure, here we go. Purchasing department.
Great.
And I believe, there we go, Stephanie Jarrett.
Good afternoon, everyone. There are 2 current solicitations we're working on. We received the pricing proposals for the ERP software system on May 13th and had requested a revised pricing proposal, which we had received on May 27th. So we're currently in the negotiation process with the vendor. We also have the Busman Hall IT renovation that's out. It's estimated at $340,000 with bids due on July 7th. And specific to board approvals, there will be one item on next week's board agenda for you to ratify, the Schoen Farm fencing replacement project. Dr. Chong had granted emergency approval of this project in advance of the board meeting because it was critical to the safety of their livestock operations. Since now they have cattle and goats on site, so we need to just make sure the animals are safe and their predators are kept out. So there are 2 bids that were received, and we went with the lowest responsive bid at $151,060. Then specific to awarded contracts and bids, the Schoen Farm produce processing coolers installation was awarded to Kirby Construction for $188,520.55. And the Schoen Farm Ag Portables paint project was awarded to Yoda Painting for $92,000. Then lastly, the purchasing department is now working on 2 solicitations for vendor pre-qualifications for bidding on design build projects. The first is for the Southwest Center facility modernization, and the second is for the Emeritus Hall roofing and HVAC modernization.
I'm sorry. Were there any questions for Stephanie before we move on?
Only is all that money bond money?
I'll defer to Kate on that.
No, not all
of
of
them.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of it is grant funds.
Okay, grant. But it'll say on our agenda where the monies are from.
Yes, on the
Yeah,
board.
okay.
Yeah, on the public board agenda, it does state the source of funds.
Yeah, I'm just
And
curious.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. We'll make sure to include it on these presentations as well.
Okay.
Good question.
Sheriffin, can I jump in?
Next
for a
up.
second?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. So everyone, I'd like to introduce Steph Garrett. Sorry, I should have done it before she started speaking. She is our new Director of Purchasing and Risk Management. Has been over in Finance Admin for a couple months, and this is her first meeting with us. And so I just want to welcome her and introduce her to you all.
Thanks, Kate.
Welcome.
Thank you, Kate. So next we'll move to IT update. Kevin Snyder.
That's me. Thank you. Good afternoon. I have a couple of quick announcements. Steph very ably stole most of my thunder on the first item, in that we are in the middle of going back and forth with the vendor that we're working with. So I'm really excited about that. We're making good progress there, and I'm hoping that we'll by fall be able to jump in with both feet and start working on the implementation phase. The second thing is about 5 years ago, we made a bond purchase as part of Measure H for our data center refresh. We purchased some Palo Alto firewalls, which have been working wonderfully for us. And with that, we bought 5 years of support. Well, the support contract is now expired or is expiring. And so we needed to renew our support contract. And we discovered a bit to our surprise that it was actually less expensive to get 5 years of support with new hardware than it would have been otherwise. I assume that's Palo Alto's way of trying to maneuver people into newer, latest and greatest hardware. So we are requesting $1.824 million to update our firewalls to latest and greatest hardware plus 5 years of support. And so far, again, I'm a big fan of Palo Alto. I used them at my previous employer. They're a great product, and we saved about $500,000 by going to new hardware, which again seems a little counterintuitive, but here we are. So, so it'll take several months to get the hardware and several months after that for implementation. Part of this purchase is for professional services to help us implement and make sure that we are doing everything to best practices. And pretty much all I have, unless anybody has any questions about that.
You will see this final item on your agenda to approve next week, and it is budgeted as part of the Measure H IT allocation. Next, we have Mary Catherine on Media Services update.
Hi, everyone. I just have a quick update we're going to talk about projects that are completed, some summer projects, and then some event support that Media Services has just completed. So the spring projects that are complete is the Student Health Service digital signage that's in the waiting room. It's an informational display. And then we have the Student Psychological Services therapy camera systems that allows for observation and evaluation for interns. And then we have the call center remote video observation system. That phase 1 is complete. That's the indoor observation system. And then that area has actually decided they want to do outdoor observation as well. So we'll move into phase 2 of that project. And then we have 2 classroom upgrades that we just finished at PSTC. And that was just an upgrade due to really aging systems. And then we have 6 remaining classrooms that we need to upgrade this month. So then we have the Ellis Auditorium stage lighting control. That all of our stuff that's done with Media Services is done, and you can see a picture of it on your right for the lighting controls. And then we'll have a third party coming in to do even more work on that project and fine tuning. And then we have the IFPs, those are interactive flat panels. Those are also called smart boards, and that's one of our most requested item. And we have, I think we have over 100 units that we've deployed throughout the district for the IFPs. And then we have some digital signage kiosks. You can see the one on the right that's currently in the library. Those have been deployed. We have about 12 of those in Santa Rosa and 4 of them in Petaluma that are mobile and have been deployed. We can go to the next slide. So I'm not going to run through these projects. The titles are pretty self-explanatory, but I did want to put it on the board's radar that media services is not immune to the supply chain issues that we're all facing. So these projects are scheduled, they're ordered, we're trying to get them here as fast as possible. Some stuff is stuck on docks, just like everybody else is experiencing in the world that's ordering things right now. So we will be working on some alternative or interim solutions to make sure the functionality is there, knowing that when we have the final resolution in place, that may change a little bit. And then the last slide is just the amount of event support that's gone on as we move to our more in-person events. So commencement, CSULB graduation, last barbecue, Petaluma series. This is something that's been taking much of media services time and support. So those are the projects we're working on. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions?
My only question was about, you said you're having supply chain problems, and I know, is that going to affect like the opening of anything like the new Schoen Farm portables or anything?
No,
Or
if we
the
look
equipment.
Yeah, so if we can go back to that slide, which is the summer projects. These are the areas that it would impact, but there's no issue where there's not a project right now where we don't feel confident in an alternative solution or a short-term solution in place. So we don't see it delaying any sort of opening or changing any sort of functionality. But we, like the rest of the world, are facing those issues.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Any other-
Kat. And sorry about that.
Oh, I was just going to
Yeah,
ask
if
if there were
there's
any other
no-
questions. That's all. And I just wanted to comment real quick, Seraphin. I just wanted to say I appreciate hearing about the supply chain issues just in general, because sometimes people do ask about delays and things like that. So I just appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I do want to add to that we work very close with media services and IT and all the departments to mitigate as much as we can these issues, and then also come up with contingency plans so they don't affect any of the openings of particular spaces that we have planned to use. We also work very close with the faculty and the academic side of the house, the deans, as we're bringing spaces online. And everybody's aware of the supply chain issues. So I think so far things have been good as far as the collaboration between all of the departments as we mitigate those issues. So we'll start with the outdoor Wi-Fi project with the NXOB.
Yeah, so here we go. We're right at the finish line here, and you may recall originally this was supposed to be done by the first of the year. The first of January was the original completion date, but because of supply chain issues, we actually didn't get most of the hardware until mid-November. So we couldn't really even begin the project until December and January. So we're kind of at the finishing line now. Just the end date is this Friday, You can see here, we're finishing up on the Santa Rosa campus. This is an outdoor antenna on the bookstore in the lower left-hand corner there. The radio on this one is mounted inside. The next one is on Linibus Hall, next to the machine shop. In this case, we used a utility box to hide the radio to make it a little more attractive. And then you can see a similar one on Emeritus Hall. On Emeritus Hall, we will be painting the utility boxes to match the stucco of the building. And in all of sort of the high traffic areas of the campus, the main quads, the main entrance ways to the campus, where we have these gray utility boxes or rigid conduit going to the equipment, that'll be painted to match the stucco or the color of the building. And we are done. As of this Friday, the project will be complete.
Thank you, Dan. Next, moving on to Sean Farm.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for the AG portables, we had hardware installed, security hardware installed in May. We'll be buttoning up that work the remainder of this month, and we're also working on painting the buildings. For Schoen Farm new greenhouse, we've got rough electrical, plumbing, and mechanical installed in May, and they are anticipating a punch block at the end of the month. And for the Schoen Farm produce processing facility, the cooler installation contract was issued to Kirby Construction, and the NTP was issued in May on the 26th. And construction of the coolers will begin this month.
Moving on to the Santa Rosa campus.
Oh, can I ask a question about Schoen Farm? I was wondering about the security at Schoen Farm. Are those cameras, or are they door activated, or the security? But is the security for the livestock as well? I mean, or is it a combination of all those things?
It's a combination of both. We have security hardware on the doors, and we have access control cards, and then we also have security cameras as well.
Cameras too. I bet you see some interesting things on those cameras. Interesting animals. Okay, thanks.
And next up, for the Busman IT renovation, DSA approved the drawings in May, and this project is currently out to bid, and they're due on 7/7. And for the Garcia renovation, we had May paint and T-bar ceiling installed, and then also the exterior ramp and stairs began construction. So we're moving along pretty well.
Thank you, Ryan. Moving on to the fields with Heather.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So we are wrapped up with the CAD project for the most part. I'm working on punch list. A photo there shows all the striping we completed along Bear Cup Way. We also did striping along Scholars Drive and parking lot C. And then the Bailey Fieldhouse is complete. We are waiting on the lockers. The football lockers will arrive on Monday, but coaches are moving into their second floor offices this week. For the outdoor pool, we've handed it over to facilities, and we're getting ready to open next week. And the ribbon cutting will be on June 23rd. And for Towser, the main update for Towser is that the plans are being reviewed by the Division of the State Architect, and we are currently doing structural testing within Towser during the summer and spring break and semesters. So yeah, that's all I have.
Heather, they're beautiful.
Thank you, Heather.
Heather,
Thanks.
they really are. So much is internal with what we see here, but You know, in the CAD projects, it's so visible. It's really beautiful.
Thanks.
Can you just show me which, I think I know what the new field house is. Is it the picture?
Yeah, it's right there.
So it's the one that at graduation, it was right behind us.
Correct. It's at the
Okay.
south
Right.
end of Bailey Field.
Okay, and again, that, because a couple people asked me about it. They said, "Oh, what's that?" And it looks great. And they, so
What's in there? What's in there, right?
Yeah, so it's a football locker rooms as well as a track and field for men and women. And then upstairs are the coach's office and a conference room.
okay, great. No, it looks, people were impressed.
Yeah. So pretty much the faculty that supports the sports that take place on the track and field and in locker rooms for those teams. Thank you, Heather. Next, we'll move on to Rhonda with the update on the Family Centers project.
Good afternoon, everyone. STEM is going along very well. They're finishing up fireproofing, installing piping, MEP piping, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, piping conduit, and they're framing exterior walls and interior walls. And then on the roof, they're finishing up the mechanical pads. So it's going very well.
Thank you, Rhonda. Next is Amy.
Good afternoon. The campus-wide security project, the final walks have all been completed. The security hardware in Clover Hall has been installed and signed off. And the only two remaining items to be done are the Hale parking lot, AC replacement at the ADA spaces, and Garcia Hall security. And Baker Hall lab renovation is completed and the notice of completion is submitted for the June board approval. The foundation new office building wood framing is complete, and the weatherproofing, well, I'm saying here it started June 1st, it is complete also. And the site work just started, the balance of the site work started today. In the interior, fire sprinkler, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing rough-in are ongoing. And the project has a move-in date of January 2023. The Doyle Library second floor Instructional Technology Center has been installed, and the previous Magini Open Computer Lab will be moving to this location. LPAS architects designed 24, we have 24 new workstations, privacy walls and screens, new chairs, and an entry reception desk. And IT department will be installing the workstations and connecting all to the network, being ready for open in fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next is Mike Loganville, the Student Housing Project.
Hello, everyone. So we continue to make good progress on our student housing. Right now in this image, you're seeing floors 1 and 2, but this is a few weeks old. So we've already started the framing of what will be the shear walls for the 3rd floor. And you can go to the next slide. Right now we're averaging over 50 workers a day. So it's a busy site. And as we work on structural components on the 3rd floor, we have MEP contractors, that's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing contractors coming in on the lower floors to begin to hang pipe and do other things with those systems. And then just lastly, not shown here, but we're going to soon begin work on creating the leasing office that's going to be in Clover Hall. So the goal is to have that open for students when they come back to campus this fall. So they'll be able to come in and see and start actually looking at what they can begin renting a year from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. That, Mike, Loganville, the Student Housing Project. Thank you, Mike. Next is Mike Loganville, the Student Housing Project. Thank you, Mike. That, Mike, Loganville, the Student Housing Project. Thank you, Mike. it completes our updates on our projects. And as you can see, we're continuing to keep ourselves busy, and we do have a busy summer ahead for us. So we're looking forward to that. For next board's meeting, you have 13 items on the agenda from capital projects to approve. Just go real quick through some of those highlights. Some of these you already heard as part of some of the project updates. The first is a change order to the security project for $36,590. This addresses the improvement of some ADA handicap parking spots. They were in pretty bad condition. This is a requirement by DSA on all of the projects that the security project touched. So for the most part, the parking stalls were in good condition, but this one near Hale was in pretty bad condition, so we actually have to do a little bit more work. Baker Hall renovation change order number 2. This is the final change order of the project, and basically it's just reconciling the accounting. There was $61,191 allowance that was left on the contract, and so we're just deducting that in order to finalize the project. And then the next item is closing out the project, which is the notice of completion. Next item, we have a resolution for you to approve for us to use design build on the Emeritus Hall roofing replacement and HVAC modernization. That's a scope of work that will definitely cost more than $2.5 million. And because we are experiencing several challenges with roof leaks as well as compromised equipment, we want to move through this project as quickly as possible so we can get that addressed. And so design build is the way that we want to go on this one to get it done quicker and also maximize the use of funds. Next item is change order number 6 for the Lindley Center STEM education project. This will bring our total change orders to 2.5%. Some of the highlights include mechanical revisions for controls, electrical and plumbing, installation of roofing transition material to meet seismic requirements, and some revisions to waterproofing and mounting at air handling unit curves on the roof. The next item we have is the Petaluma student project. Again, we're complete with this project, so we are asking you to approve the notice of completion for this project. Next item, also at the Petaluma campus, we have the construction center project, the CEQA notice of exemption. The study has been done, and this project does qualify for a CEQA exemption, so we're asking you to approve the project and also approve the NOE. The district-wide ADA transition plan contract to DSK Architects for $166,492. Just a quick update on this. We conducted an assessment of all campuses, of all ADA faulty work throughout the 5 campuses, actually. That was back in 2016. Since then, several of the items have been mitigated through some of our modernization and new construction work. So we're right about the need at this point to evaluate, update that assessment, and actually develop an updated transition plan. The last transition plan the district approved was in 2007. So this one will pretty much update, bring us up to date with a transition plan. Once we have this architect on board under contract, I will have them come before you and the board and actually present a much more detailed presentation on the work that they'll be carrying out. The next item is a Doyle Library lighting control panels replacement contract to City Electric Supply. This is for the Doyle Library building in a repair that is in much need. Next item is Garcia Hall renovation resolution for change order number 6 to Holly and Associates. So to bring to your attention, we are now at a point where we have exceeded the 10% in change orders. Much of the reason that we are beyond that is because the as you may recall, we had several unforeseen conditions in the existing building, primarily with hazardous materials that were found both in walls, ceilings, and floors. So the original scope was not to remove all of that, which we had to. So now we're in the process of having to replace those materials in order to complete the project. So this resolution is for $182,000, 538, and it will include adding for the additional floor underlayment that we had to replace. There's attic wall bracing that needed to be modified in order to accommodate the new ductwork. And then also the security roofing for the security of the building. This, as you may remember, the project was actually designed before the security standards were approved. So this is bringing the two together, making sure that we are installing the security system that is most up to date and under the standards with the project. The next item we have is Schoen Farm greenhouse install contract, change order number 2. It's a credit of $1,931. So we do have an add of electrical cooler pad and some plumbing. And then we have a credit on lighting controls. So based on these changes, our total sum of this change order is actually a negative. And then the last item that we have is an amendment for QKA Architects for the Schoen Farm Portables project. This basically addresses the extension of the actual work. So there's additional time that we need QKA to help us close out the project. So this is an additional $34,200 on that contract. And that completes the details of the 13 items. Unless you have any questions.
So I guess the WPA did know about asbestos, huh? When they built Garcia. But anyway, I was wondering for number 7, the Petaluma Student Life Project, when you give us a completion, notice of completion, is that just for the structure or is that for infrastructure like the furniture and all of the stuff that goes inside it, or are those two different things?
So the notices of completion are attached to the contract of that particular contractor. So in this particular project, the contractor is Mid-State Construction. So this is for that contract. So they are done, and we've checked off all the marks on work that they need complete, including labor compliance, and any faulty work that might have been identified. All of that has been corrected. The furniture was a different contract.
A different contract, yeah.
So
okay.
A different contract. So this NOC is just for Mid-State Construction.
Okay. That's what I figured, but I thought I'd ask.
Yep, great question.
I have a quick question, Seraphin, on what number was it? Item number 8, the Petaluma campus construction one. You mentioned really quickly that a study had been done. What study was done?
So
did I hear that wrong?
No, you heard right, and I didn't go into any particular details, but the study that's done under the California Environmental Quality Act is basically looking at any environmental impacts that the project may cause on the environment. So we're basically looking at this particular study. We're looking at any impacts above the ground that the project may cause, such as noise to the environment, neighboring neighbors, or any other type of business that may be in the area. Also, will the project cause additional traffic so that it will create a traffic impact in the area. lighting. So these environmental elements that the project may cost, right? And so because this particular project is within the campus, it's not increasing the number of students that would be coming to the site because we're not adding additional parking. So there's no traffic impacts, and then we're far away from any neighboring structure, be it residential or business, where the activities that will be going on in that particular building will actually have a negative environmental impact on those neighbors. So those are the things that we look for in this study. If we ever do find that we will negatively impact the environment, then we would have to come up with a plan to mitigate that impact. And so that would be part of the report. And so because this project is not causing any impacts, then what we do is we ask, it qualifies for an exemption.
Okay,
so
that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Yes. And so we're notifying you that it qualifies for the exemption, and therefore asking you to approve.
Okay, so a CEQA study was done, but now it qualifies for a notice of exemption because there was nothing was found. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Seraphin? Okay. All right. Thank you, Seraphin. That's all I see on the agenda. So I think we can adjourn. So yeah, I guess we bring them. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.